Hello viewers, you're welcome back once again to my channel. You're welcome back to Gozen Snail Farm. So today I'm going to be talking about three major problems or challenges that are faced by snail farmers. And not only that, I'm going to be giving you the solution to these challenges. That is what? 1, 2, 3. Three major problems that I have over time and experience that these are the problems that snail farmers always face. And I'm going to give you the solution to those challenges. So it's very, very important to watch this video from the beginning to the end. Why? Because as a snail farmer or an intending snail farmer, it's going to help you to know those major challenges that already snail farmers are already encountering or passing through. And not only that, you have a knowledge of the solutions on how to tackle those issues. Should in case tomorrow, peradventure at any time you encounter those problems or those challenges, you should know what to do in order to remedy them. But before we go straight to the video, before I go straight to share these problems and solutions with you, I want to know if this is your first time of visiting my channel. If this is your first time of coming to my channel, you are very much welcome. But please, I want you to do me a favor, click on the subscribe button below this video and smash on that bell notification icon so that whenever I release an awesome video such as this, you are going to be among the first set of persons that YouTube will notify. And also, if you are a returning subscriber, if you have been watching my videos, thank you so much. I appreciate you and I do not take it for granted. But I also want you to do me a favor, like this video, share this video, so that it's going to make this video to rank on YouTube. So having said all that, the first problem or the first challenges that most of the farmers are encountering and they are looking for a way out is the problem of what? Mortality. Yes, mortality. And what is actually mortality? Mortality is the increasing death of snails in snail farm. The increasing death of snails in snail farm. Meaning that within a period of time, you have encountered a lot of dead snails, which much more than you should have encountered. So meaning that sometimes within 1 week, within 2 weeks, 1 month, your snails are dying as if they are poisoning them. So it's an increasing death of snails. In a month that you are not supposed to encounter any dead snail, or maybe one or thereabout, but in a month you are getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, depending on the size of your farm. So that shows you that there is a problem, and if it's not being taken care of, it's going to wipe away all of your snails. So that is why it's a threat to snail farmers. It's a threat, a very big threat to snail farmers, and they are looking for a way forward, a way out to remedy this situation. Because over time, most of my consultation, I have noticed that is either they are having mortality or is one thing or the other, and that is why I have concluded and bring these three challenges that I'm sharing with you today. I'm not saying that they are limited to this, but these are the major ones. So mortality rate, and come to look at it, what is actually the cause of mortality in snail farming business? What is actually the main cause of mortality in snail farming business? There is a lot of factors that can lead to mortality in snail farming, ranging from poor management of the farm, ranging from the poor feeding, ranging from ant invasion, and the what? A lot of other factors. But the major thing is that you should know that this is a threat and is a challenge that faces snail farmers. And the solution, what can you do to remedy mortality in your snail farm? What are the things that you're supposed to put in place in order to make sure that you don't encounter mortality in your snail farming? Number one, you must make sure that you take proper care of your snail farm. Yes, proper care of your snail farm. Most persons don't care. Some persons, 1 week, they have not, okay, let me say, not say 1 week. 1 week is too much. 2 days, 3 days, they have not been able to check their snails. They don't know how they are doing. They don't, they just believe, they have this notion that their snails, they don't really need someone to take care of them like that. You just put food for them, you go your way and allow them to be. No, a snail farming business is beyond that. You must put the necessary measure, you must put in the work. By doing what? By taking good care of your snail, managing it very, very well. Some persons will put food for the snails, and most of you, if you are a snail farmer, you will know that most of the things will feed snails. once they decay, is a problem if you don't remove them, if you don't clean the place. So most persons don't clean it, they don't remove them, they will keep it there. After the snail must have eaten the ones they feed or the ones to eat, the rest will stay there and decay, and before you know it, it will start attracting snails. It will start attracting ants. It will start attracting other snail enemies. So one thing you should do to remedy mortality in your snail farming business is to take adequate care of your snail farm in terms of cleaning, in terms of feeding, which is another point I'm looking at. Number 2, cause of mortality in snail farming business, and what you should do is to feed them right. Some persons don't know how to feed the snails. Some persons don't even know what to feed the snails. I made a video some time ago on the food that you're supposed to feed the snails. It's not anything. They say most persons, sometimes they will call me, they will send me messages, please, can I give my snail this? And one thing with me is that I'm a sincere person. I will always tell you, if it's what I have not tried, I will tell you I have not tried it. I don't know if it works or not. Because I can boldly recommend what I have tested in my own farm, what I have tried, and I know that it is working. But anything apart from that, I don't recommend and I don't advise. So, if you have not watched that video, you can check my channel, the best food or the best feed for your snail farming growth, for your snail farming fast growth. So, check it out in my channel, you will see it. And then you must feed them properly. It's one thing to know what to feed them, it's another thing to know how to feed them properly. I also talk about how to feed the snail properly, because most of the person don't know how to feed it. They just bring it, dump it, put it in a hand. No. There is a proper way to mix their food. There's a proper way to mix their feed, a proper way to mix their calcium and give them so that they will eat it very well. So once you don't feed the snails right, you are starving them, my dear, mortality must certainly set in. Some person just believe that put food for them today, the next time they will go and check them to know if they will even put another food, could be next 3 or 4 days. And most time you don't even give them what will sustain them. You don't even give them what will keep them till that time. What you give them is just a little feed that they can finish at that particular day, depending on the number of snails in your farm. So for you to take care of mortality in your snail farm, you must do what? You must feed the snails right. You must take proper care of your farm. Then you need to be intentional about your snail farm. You must make sure sometimes when you go to some person's snail farm, you find out that there is opening everywhere. And these openings are still the same places, the same all these holes are still the same places that snail enemies will penetrate from and do what? Come and attack the snails. So you must make sure that your farm entirely is well protected against what? Snail enemies. So this is the ways that can actually remedy what? Mortality in your snail farming business. Another one, the last one I'm going to be talking about in this mortality aspect is what? Making your farm waterlogged. Some persons don't know how to water their farm. Just because we have simply said that you need to water the farm constantly so that the place will be wet, most persons make the farm a waterlog. What we are saying is that the place needs to be wet, but it's not supposed to be a waterlog. Now, when the place is a waterlog, it's no longer comfortable for the snails again. And once the environment is not comfortable for them, it's already a problem. So you must make sure and take note of how you water the snail. When watering it, you should not make it a waterlog. Just water it moderate. Let the place just be damp. Let the place just be wet for them. Anything apart from that will bring a problem in your snail farming. Okay, the second challenges or the second major problem faced by snail farmer is actually poor growth. Yes, poor growth of the snails. Poor growth of the snails. I've had a lot of person calling me, contacting me, and what is their challenge? My snail, they are not growing. I've stocked my snail for over 6 months and it's as if they still the same way when I brought them to the farm. Poor growth. And it is a challenge because no one will want to stock his or her farm and at the end of the day it's not yielding any result. They are not growing and all those stuffs is a big problem. You will be concerned as a snail farmer, as the owner of the farm or as a manager of the farm. You will definitely be concerned because of that. So poor growth is a major challenge or a major problem affecting snail farmers. And how can you take care of poor growth? how can you make your snails to be growing? How can you make your snail to grow well so that you can actually make money out of it? And also they can be actually lay a good number of eggs for you, because the more they grow, the more they lay a better eggs for you. So one of the solution to poor growth of snails is also embedded in feeding. How well do you feed your snails? How well do you feed your snails? The truth is that whatever that eats grows. Anything that eats grow. That is just the simple truth. So now sometimes when you ask or tell yourself that my snails are not growing, the first question you should ask yourself is, how well am I feeding them? Even as human being, if you are not being fed well, there's no way you will grow well. It will show on your body as a malnutrition that you are not feeding well. So that is also the way it is in animals, and snail is not an exemption. So the way you feed them determines how well they grow. You cannot just keep the snails and then 2 days, 3 days you have not given them food. Maybe the last food you gave them was 3 days ago. You only come back to the snail when you feel like coming. No. Snail farming is not done that way. Let's even imagine if they are birds. Like if it's birds that you are training, or fish, will you starve them for like 3 days, 4 days without giving them food? So you need to feed them well. The more you feed them well, the more they grow fatter for you. That is just the simple truth. It's not magic. It's just a simple truth and analogy. And one thing is that it's not also only feeding them. You should know when and how to feed them. The variety of food to give them. I think in my ebook, you have seen me talk about that ebook severally. I explain all these things in detail. The kind of food you're supposed to give them in the evening, let's say today, the kind of food you're supposed to give them tomorrow, the kind of food you're supposed to give them the next day, and the time frame that you're supposed to give them this food. You don't necessarily need to give them one particular food today, tomorrow, next. No. I made a feeding timetable for snails in that book. If you need the book, but eventually you need the book, you have not gotten it, you can check in the description of this video. You will see the link on how you can get the book. It's a well-detailed book that talks everything from A to Z about snail farming. So for your snail to grow bigger, for your snail to grow faster, please, you need to take note of what you feed them, when you feed them, and how you feed them. These 3 things. What you feed them, when you feed them, and how you feed them. These are the 3 things you need to take note on when talking about why your snails are not actually growing as fast as they are supposed to grow. Then another one, the second reason on how you can actually take care of poor growth is environment. Yes, the environment the snails find themselves also affect their growth. If the environment is not conducive for them, it will result to a stunted growth in the snails. So you must make sure that the environment is good. That's why I keep saying it. You need to take it as business. You must make sure you manage the environment, clean the place. You can't imagine this part that they are animal. There are some things, they defecate, they feed, and remnants of those feed, everything mixed together, and you leave it there for 1 month. No, the place will be unhealthy for them. So another way you can take care of poor growth, which is also a challenge in snail farming business, is to take care of what the environment where your snails are. Okay, the last but not the least, I'm going to be talking about in these 3 major challenges that face snail farmers is what? Egg incubation and hatchery. Yes, it's a major challenge because so many persons don't know how to accurately incubate their egg and have 100% hatch free. Yes, and why is it even an issue? It's an issue because the main place where you start making a lot of money, or where you are looking at, is in the production of more snails. And if the snail can be able to lay 200 eggs for you, and at the end of the day, out of 200 eggs, we are only able to hatch 50 or 100, that is very, very poor. That is very, very bad. That means you have lost totally what? 100 good snails. So once your snail eggs are not being hatched, it's an issue. It must give you a concern, because all the effort you are putting to feed the snail, for them to lay eggs, and at the end of the day they finish laying eggs, and they are not hatching is fruitless. So you must make sure that you incubate them correctly. And at the end of the day, they will give you 100 hash free. And how can you tackle this problem of egg incubation and hatching? One is that you must learn how to incubate your egg properly. Some don't know how to incubate it. They just think that you just put it inside the soil, cover it. No, it's beyond that. I have taught in one of my videos the best way of snail egg incubation. You can check that title in my channel here, best method of snail egg incubation. And that is where I taught you that majorly we use two basic methods in incubating our eggs. One is what I call the natural method, and the other one is what I call the artificial method. The natural method, I taught you that the natural method is the method whereby you allow the eggs to incubate and hatch wherever they have been laid. So to say, you allow the eggs to remain in that same place where the snails laid them, to incubate by themselves and hatch by themselves. While the artificial method is the one we use the disposable plates, the plastic plate, or a separate incubator in your pen to bury the eggs and do what? Allow them to hatch in that place. Now the issue is that in the natural one, sometimes if it's where you always cleaning the pen, there is every tendency that you will damage the eggs in the process of cleaning. So that is why sometimes if it's in a block pen, we recommend that you hatch them using the artificial method. But the major challenge here is that most persons don't know how to use the artificial method to hatch and get 100% results. So how do you do this to get 100% result? One is that you must make sure that your soil is conducive enough. The main reason why the eggs hatch in that particular place where they have been laid, if you don't touch them, is that they are laid in a place that is comfortable for them. The snails itself laid them where they know that this place is comfortable for these eggs to stay and hatch. Now when you remove them in that place and incubate them in a soil that are not actually conducive or comfortable for them, there is no way they will hatch. So you must make sure that you are using the right soil, which is the loamy soil. And not only using the right soil, you must make sure that the loamy soil is damp. The loamy soil you are using must be damp. You must make sure that it is what? Damp. Meaning that you need to water it and not watering it the way you water the snail farm. No. You just sprinkle it to make sure that this soil does not remain dry. It must always be what? It must always be what? Damp. Once you're able to do this, there is no way your eggs will not hatch. And now in incubating them, you must make sure that you don't bury them too much inside the ground. And you don't also expose them. It must be in between the soil. Not too deep, not too top. So that once they have been able to hatch, they can easily come out. And so that the eggs, if it's at the top side, if it's too much, then it will be exposed. And they don't need to be exposed. So these are the reasons why your eggs don't hatch. It's either you are not incubating well, or you are using the wrong soil, or the soil is not always damp till that period. And one major thing is that sometimes, please, in as much as we say that the snails, it takes them 21 days and above to hatch. Don't lose hope once it's after 21 days that they have not hatched. No. Personally, I have in my own farm, I have experienced some eggs I incubated that stayed for 1 month before it hatched. I'm being honest, I'm telling you the truth. So most times, if your eggs stay above 21, still leave it. In as much as you incubated very well, in as much as you use the right soil, they are going to hatch definitely. So that is where the profit sets in. Now you can imagine if you incubated, let's say 200 eggs, and at the end of the day you were able to hatch 95, 96, 97, that is perfectly well. If you don't even get 100%, but even at that you are supposed to get 100% hatch free. But even if you don't get, you are getting 96, 95, that is perfectly okay. Compared to someone that is actually getting 100 or even less than 100. So these are the three basic or major challenges or problems that are being faced by snail farmers. I'm not saying that they are limited to this. There are a lot of other factors. There is a lot of other challenges, other problems that the snail farmers face on a daily basis. But what I'm talking about is that these are the major ones that you can easily see any snail farm talking about that are being a problem to him or her. And that is why I have been able to bring them together to share light on it, and so that you will take note on how to take or how to remedy these issues in case you encounter it in your snail farm. So thank you once again for watching. Remember, we have a Telegram channel where we have group of snail farmers, intending ones, where we share knowledge, where we talk about snail farming business, and we help each other to grow. If you have not joined that group, you can check the description of this video so that you join the group. And also, if you need the book I talked about in the description of this video, you can check the link on where to get it. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you have not subscribed as well, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, so that it's going to make it to rank on YouTube. Thank you once again. See you in our next video. Bye for now.